Hello and welcome to episode 7 of Sedona Says.
Alyssa approved,
I'm Alyssa.
and I'm Sedona.
Hi, Con.
Hello. Yeah. Finally, this was a good idea. This was a really good idea. I like this one a lot.
I'm excited.
Um, we're gonna be doing iconic women, people that should be celebrated, people who have changed history, like made legacies, um, and yeah, just like helped shape the future. And they're women, so it's
Yeah,
a bonus. They're baddies, if you will.
I'm so excited. I feel like we picked some pretty good women too.
Yeah. Um, it's funny, we actually chose one of the same people, but I picked 7 women, and then like I kind of did a whole big deep dive. Like I found out new things that I didn't know before and some pretty messed up stuff that's like, what the hell?
Yeah,
But nonetheless, I mean, it's like, hell yeah, they're badass and they deserve to have their name, shared. People need to hear about
mhm.
them. And it's crazy that I didn't learn this stuff in school
All
at
right,
all.
you know what? Honestly, if you want to jump right into it,
Yeah.
for my pick, go right ahead.
Okay. So, my first person that I picked, we all know, we all should know Rosa Parks. Um, but before Rosa Parks, there actually was Claudette Colvin. She was only 15 years old when she originally started the whole like I'm refusing to give up my seat.
Mm.
She did that. She got arrested for it, and they it sucks because like I can see both sides. And it's not to take away from Rosa Parks' movement or anything. I understand that. But what they decided to do, unfortunately, because she was 15 years old, she didn't look as appealing as Rosa Parks did. She was pregnant out of wedlock because she actually got R-worded by a
Yeah,
married man. So they didn't want a 15-year-old pregnant out of wedlock
being the face of
scrawny
the movement.
girl being the face of this huge movement that so many would follow
Mhm.
because it would give like the newspapers so much so many more things to talk negatively about. They take away from the actual movement itself and talk about how she's pregnant and this and that. Um, but it actually happened like 9 months before Rosa Parks' claim to fame. And she was actually one of the biggest court like segregation court cases. I'm trying to remember what it was called, but Bowder versus Gale case.
Mm.
Um, and it ended bus segregation in Montgomery, like Alabama. But a
Wow.
lot of people didn't know about it until decades later. She's still alive
Hmm.
today, by the way.
Really?
She's 87 years old. Yeah. She also was arrested like on multiple other charges, resisting arrest and disrupting the peace and stuff, all race related. Okay. Keep in mind, after segregation supposedly ended, even though I think we're all aware that there is silent, you know,
Hmm.
unfortunate circumstances that happen within government, that happen within the public, everywhere. But
Yeah.
so she was arrested, multiple times due to segregation, resisting the peace, everything. 82 years old in 2021 is when her arrest record got cleared. Her whole record got cleared. She was 82 years old. She's 87 now.
Horrible. Absolutely
It
horrible.
I don't know, like that one I really didn't that one bothered me a lot because like I said, I can understand, I could play devil's advocate for both sides. I understand why they needed an icon such as Rosa Parks, you know, but it shouldn't be decades later after
No.
people are finding out and hearing about a 15-year-old girl doing this. That is insane. And it shouldn't be. her turning 82 years old to get her record expunged and like cleared.
And it's just stuff they don't teach in school either.
No, I had no idea about her until a few years back. Like I had no idea. I've never even heard the name,
Mm-hmm.
you know. Um but one quote, like, she did say, and this is when she first got arrested, this is completely accurate. Like she said, I felt like Sojourner Truth was pushing down on one shoulder and Harriet Tubman on the other. And she said in that moment while she was on the bus, you know, she just felt this like huge spirits almost like of them being like, enough's enough, stand your
Yeah.
ground, you know? And so, unfortunately, like I said, she wasn't the face of the movement. She decided to become a nurse aide quietly. She lived her life, and that was all out of fear of retaliation. Like, oh my God, I'm getting the goosebumps actually talking about her because it makes me so, I, I don't know, like upset, obviously, but just the raw strength that she had to have as a 15-year-old.
Yeah. Yeah.
I know,
To go through that.
1955, it was a different era. I know that. Kids today aren't the same as they were back then. When I was 15, it wasn't the same as back then. And I don't know if I'd have that mental strength and courage.
Especially for being a woman of color in
Yes.
that situation too.
Like, it was just, I don't know. And her whole, like, there's a ton of, not a ton, but there is quite a few good books about her. I think there's actually a documentary about her. But
Mm-hmm.
even the whole, baby that she had,
Yeah.
like, her life should have been more known and more celebrated, the same as Rosa Parks. We should have
Mm-hmm.
been taught about her in schools.
Yeah.
We should have heard about her, not decades after. Mm, I don't know. And that was only 9 months before Rosa Parks. So I think what sparked the whole, well, like they had obviously discussed, Rosa Parks did it too, but we're going to use her as an icon, you know,
Yeah.
which, like I said, I can't argue against because the media would have spun Claudette Colvin completely different.
They would have made it into something
Yep.
completely something else than
Yeah.
what was the main thing.
She was just too young and pregnant, out of wedlock, didn't have the face, allegedly everything.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, if you look up her historic case, Bowder versus Gale, um, that's like the big segregation ending
Horrible.
case.
Mm-mm.
Yeah, she's still alive and kicking. So she
What
lived
an
through,
icon.
yes, so much. She truly is an icon. Not even like, not even just right now, but at 15.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Doing that, being brave, and that's
And it goes to show also still that she quietly chose a career instead of putting her name out there and saying, "Hey, I'm the one," and "Hey, this happened to me." She was so scared of retaliation. Like, how? Just so awful. But she is iconic, and now her name is heard and deserves to continue to be heard and
absolutely.
learned in schools and taught to everyone. Yeah. But I went on a rabbit hole with that one.
I love
So that
that.
was my first pick of iconic women. Hmm.
That's a good pick.
Thank you.
You learned something new because honestly, that's the first time I'm ever hearing about her, and that's incredible
Yeah.
too. Holy cow! You
Yep.
don't think about that too because like they're like, oh, it just happened so long ago. Like, no, and these people are still alive.
She's
Like,
still alive. She's
you know,
witnessed history in the making. She still has witnessed
yeah,
racism today because
hmm
it's still here.
yeah,
Like, and how sad that is. you know, like
It's
ugh,
2025 and people are still trying to be racist.
yeah.
Stop it, loser,
Fucking idiot. No, I can't.
dummy.
More than that, piece of shit.
All those words.
I spit on you. Kaput. No, but she's a badass. She really is a
Hell
true
yeah.
icon, and she changed laws. You know, she made
Love that.
history.
Hmm.
Yep. Let's go. Who was your first that you immediately thought of?
Icons. Completely other end of the spectrum. I'm
Yeah.
like, I'm gonna have fun with this. I was like, Anna Nicole Smith.
Ah, I love her. I
Yes.
love her.
Yes. I feel like people misunderstood her so much.
Oh, because the media misconstrued
Yeah.
her.
She was upfront about what she wanted. She knew exactly what she wanted.
Hmm.
Like I loved her down from her looks, her personality. I feel like she was a good mom. Personally, she loved her kids very much.
Okay, so
Um,
I really like. I know a general consensus of her, but I don't
mhm.
know. Like, give me all.
So she was, I guess she was a Playboy bunny for a little bit. She married, there was like this whole court case with her one husband that she married. He was like this super, super old man. And her family like fought her tooth and nail because they're like, you're not in the will for my father. Like, stop trying to get our money, basically. And she's like, no, your father loved me. Like, I feel like they were in love. Like, he actually did love her. And um, from what I understand, like, she won a big chunk of money from all of this because they're like, no, she is getting something. Like,
Yeah.
um, but yeah, a lot of people like depicted her as just like, like the gold digging dumb blonde. She was on, what was it, Howard Stern?
Ah,
She was, yeah,
I saw a video
yeah,
about that, and he
yep.
did. First
She
of
was an
all,
ass.
Howard Stern.
She wasn't even
Okay,
fat.
no, and he's done that with multiple women.
Mm-hmm.
People just
Good
yeah.
for her. She stood her ground. She's like, I'm not getting on the scale.
Hmm.
It's like, no, I'm not talking about my weight. Like I said, I don't know. I thought she was just a fun little person to input because, like I said, she knew what she wanted. She was upfront about it. She's like, I'm gonna get this money. I'm gonna be a star. She had her own reality TV show,
I
just like
remember that.
having fun. Yeah, and like, I just feel so bad because, um, I don't know if you knew she had two kids. She had a
Hmm.
son, and then years later she had a daughter. And I feel so bad because the son had a pill addiction and ended up overdosing in the
Hmm.
hospital right next to her after she had her daughter. She was so heartbroken, and I think that's when she started getting into like the pills and everything like that. Um, but yeah, it's just so sad because even like to this day, like her daughter idolizes her, loves her dearly, and like the dad and her are so close.
Good.
And he's always talking so positively about Anna still, just saying what a wonderful person she was. I don't know, she was just a fun little reality star, iconic, setting the pavement for all the bimbos and all that. People say
Big
bimbo
boobed
is a bad thing.
blondes.
I love it. I
Big
love the
boobed
term
blondes.
bimbo. Yes, like whatever
Yeah.
the fuck you want. Be upfront. You want to get that money? You want to marry an old man? Go right ahead and do it.
Yeah. And the like hardest part I'd imagine for her was having to do it with such a big public eye. Everyone
Yeah,
witnessed it. I remember like vividly watching that show and series, and then I also remember hearing, people who were raising me talk like negatively about her in just such derogatory like ways.
yeah.
So for her to
Constantly talking bad about her. Yeah,
still like be 100% honest about who she is and be herself, knowing
yep,
the negative connotations.
yep.
Iconic.
She just wanted to have fun. From what I hear too, she was just so sweet.
Yep.
She just, she didn't deserve all the hate that she got,
Yeah,
honestly.
I agree. I do. And she was just beautiful.
She really is.
Mm-hmm.
She really is. My gosh. Icon. Rest in peace, icon. Who's your next person?
Okay, so this one, sorry guys, I have my notes. Like
I
I've
love it.
written notes. I do it like every episode I have to. This one is crazy. Have you heard of Henrietta Lacks?
I have not.
Most people haven't. But do you know
Who
that
is
it's
she?
one of the most beneficial people to all sorts of everyone on the world, Earth?
What is this
Henrietta
icon?
Henrietta Lacks. She was a black female. She was a tobacco farmer. Okay,
Okay.
1951. She went to Johns Hopkins because she unfortunately had cervical cancer. And it got worse due to her having syphilis, and ultimately that's what took her life at 31 years old.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Without her consent, though, doctors took her cells and rebranded them and called them HeLa cells because they discovered that her cells could like live, survive, and reproduce outside of her body. So
Oh.
it helped most recently find the COVID vaccine.
Wow.
They created the polio vaccine. They are used to study cancer, HIV treatment. They developed IVF. They were used in space.
Mm-hmm.
It's her cells had this ability to literally regenerate outside of the body.
That's incredible.
But doctors took it without consent or without telling her family.
Of course they did.
It wasn't known until decades later that like 20 years later, that's what I wrote down, 20 years later,
Mm-mm.
um, that her cells were being used and profited off of and creating all of these life-saving vaccines.
Yeah.
They had no idea. Um, she's being honored today. Her family in 2023, they had sued the biotech company and then they privately
Mm-hmm.
settled. Um, but this like so it's also said, fun fact, that all of her cells that have ever grown outside of her body,
Mm-hmm.
it's enough cells to weigh 100 Empire State Buildings. Hmm. It's literally what made IVF possible, what made the polio
That's
vaccine,
incredible.
COVID vaccine possible, what helps with research of cancer and HIV. It's this one woman, who unfortunately passed away due to something awful, helped
Yeah.
save millions of lives and shaped the like healthcare future. But they did it without her consent, and they didn't disclose it to the family. They tried to rebrand it.
Mm-mm-mm.
That's like it was crazy to me when I went down this, because I don't know, and it was really sad too. Like while she was on her deathbed, she was really close with her cousin, and like her last words were something along the line of, "Please take care of my son, my babies, like my kids."
Yeah.
And it's just I keep saying crazy, but like it is, and it's so frustrating because even today we're
Absolutely.
seeing stuff like this happen without consent. Did you see the whole
Mm-hmm.
woman who was comatose in a
Yep.
vegetative state have
Yep.
a baby removed?
Her body was literally decaying.
Yes.
Horrible.
Without consent, they are doing this. Do you know how many black women die compared to white women compared to other races in hospitals just due by childbirth? There's a huge statistic with when it comes to black women's health and compared to others, like other races.
Yeah, people just turn a blind eye to it because they're like, oh, it's not happening to me. Oh, it's not going to affect me.
But meanwhile, millions and billions of people are profiting off of one woman's cells. Companies
Mm-mm.
are financially profiting, making trillions of dollars off of this one woman's cells, and they didn't even know till 20
Yeah.
years later. So I wanted to include her in the sense that she is an icon, knowing how many lives she saved and
Yes.
how she had this like super power, okay?
Yeah.
But what's not iconic is the sense that it was done without consent and without her family's knowledge.
Yeah.
And I don't know how much, no one knows how much the family sued the biotech company for. They settled it out of court and privately. I just, I hope it was enough to run that company into the ground.
Yes.
I do. I really do. Run them into the ground. And I feel like the people who, if they were still alive, and if they are, who decided to do that, should be criminally charged,
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
regardless of all of the benefits that she does bring and supply. They need to
Mm-hmm.
be criminally charged.
Yeah.
Oh, that one, like, it
That's
was insane. And there's a ton of documentaries and books about it. But it's not known. It's not commonly known at all.
of course it's not going to be
Like
because
the Gila, the Gila or the Hela cells. I think it's called Gila. I'm pretty sure that's how it's pronounced. But
yeah,
all because of Henrietta Lacks, a tobacco farmer who was poor and unfortunately died of cervical cancer contributed by syphilis.
of course they're not going to
Saved
say it because
billions and
money.
trillions of lives.
Mm-hmm. All about money and all about making sure, it's a white man looks like the hero.
That's someone we need to learn about in school. That's someone you need to teach your children about and
Mm-hmm.
give thanks to.
Yep.
All right, sorry, I'm getting
You're good.
so
Get pumped.
pissed.
Get pumped.
Ah! All right, who's another one of your icons?
So this one, I'm like, okay, this woman's pretty fucking badass. Her name's Josephine Butler. She was a Victorian feminist and social reformer. And she fought against women's suffrage, fought for better education for women, and fought against child prostitution and human trafficking. I'm like, fuck yes.
I've heard of
Fuck
her.
yes. Oh my God. And like she was like, you know what? No, like you military men and you Navy, you guys need to start getting tested because like venereal diseases are going around and spreading fast because of you
Hmm.
guys. And holy shit. I was
Women,
like,
like women weren't allowed to talk about sex and stuff in public. And
mm-hmm.
there was this whole, I don't remember what it was called, but it's this huge law or something that
Yeah.
she got changed and passed over in the UK. But
Yes.
yeah, she was fighting
She's
for
fucking
women's
awesome.
rights before it
Yep.
even became like a real thing.
Yeah. So she, she tried to repeal the Contagious Disease Acts of
That's it. That's it.
1869, 1874. Yep. Yeah. I was like, holy shit. And like she like wanted what like there was women who were suffering from sexually transmitted diseases that were being like locked up in the hospital until they were cured. And like if they refused, they could be hospitalized permanently or imprisoned.
What?
Yeah. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
What are you doing, UK?
What are you
What were you
doing?
doing?
I was in childhood prostitution, and then you're imprisoning them?
What was
Fucking
her last name again?
crazy.
Because there, I know.
Butler.
So, fun fact: there's also she's like semi-known, but kind of also not semi-known. There's
Yeah.
a woman, Josephine Butler, in the United States who's also an activist, but for different reasons.
Really?
Yeah, she's in Washington D.C. She did something. It was like something. she worked for the government, and then they like blacklisted her. And so
Oh.
then I wish I knew more about this, but I just know that name. But she was
Yeah.
a black woman in Washington D.C. who like started doing entry level jobs. She did like cafeteria work for the government, and
Yeah.
then they blacklisted her, and then I don't know. But she's known as an activist also. I just wish
That's
I knew more about her.
crazy.
But same name.
I love that.
Mm-hmm.
Must be something about Josephine Butler's. But yeah,
JB's.
I just thought that was so cool. I'm like, I've never even heard of this woman because I was like, like of course the more commonly known iconic woman that we know and everything. But I'm like, all right, what don't I know? Like, what can I
And
learn
that's in
about? And
another country too.
yeah, I'm like, that's fucking awesome. That back then, like, she was fighting for,
Mm-hmm.
you know, child prostitution to end that, to make sure like the sex is safe and people are being healed and tested for these things back then.
I think that the reason I know about her is
Were you a prostitute in your past life?
I don't think so. I think so. No, but it was like a show, not called. I don't know if it's called A Midwife or it's not Bridgerton or anything like that. But
That's a good
it's some
one of those kind of.
one of those era like Victorian era shows that I had watched, and they brought her name up. I was like,
Mhm.
who this? Who this be? She sound
Right.
cool as hell.
Who are you?
Yeah. You know what? You know what? I like you. But yeah, that's how I found out about her.
Yes.
Um, that's crazy. That's the UK, bruv.
Mhm. Mhm.
I
Oi
wonder.
oi.
Wait, I wonder when was Jack the Ripper? I wonder if she started because there was. I don't know. I'm just not spiraling, but brain ADHD
Like the
connected
same like.
era. Same.
Let's see.
She noticed like a lot of women in this line of work.
So 1888 was when he was.
Okay, so
Yeah.
not
I mean,
really,
you never know.
but but
Hmm. Hmm.
um um this one is another fun one,
I love it. Let's hear it.
guys. Literally, look, like I have written.
I love it. I love it. I have 10 pages about
I
her for
literally I've
it.
written so many notes because it's just I wish I could say it all, but I'm so bad. I just want to yap. Um, Marsha P. Johnson, and the P stands for Pay It No Mind.
Yes.
Um,
Stonewall.
and she meant
Mm.
it.
Mm-hmm.
She was a black transgender activist, a sex
Yep.
worker, drag queen, icon. In the 1960s and 70s in New York, she was like one of the frontmen or front runners. I hate that term, frontmen. Sorry, front runners of the Stonewall riots in 1969,
Yep.
along with what is Riviera Riviera. I can't remember her name, but it was something Riviera. But she was being like one of the first to resist the police arrest that
Yep.
night, and like she didn't throw the first brick, but she was actively like against it,
Mm-hmm.
and rebelling. She did co-found STAR, which is Street Transvestite Active Action Revolutionaries, with
Yeah.
Sylvia Rivera, and it supported like homeless queer youth long before like LGBTQ plus even existed or was mainstream and known.
Mm-hmm.
Um, she had a lot of like unfortunate circumstances growing up. You know, she was poor, she grew up abused, um, mental health struggles. So she actually was found in the Hudson River in 1992. Keep in
Yep.
mind, like, gay marriage didn't get legalized till 2012. So she was fighting for rights from 60s and 70s, unfortunately passed, found in the Hudson River, 1992. Police called it a suicide. No. It is not.
No.
Currently, her case is actually it is open. It's just,
Yep.
like unanswered due to unknown circumstances. She basically was murdered because at that time it was the height in New York of hate crimes against gay people, transgender, um, everything. She
Yep.
actually also has, like, you live in New York, but she also has a New York park named after her.
Yes.
It's in bu- 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 Brooklyn. Brooklyn, I think. Was it Brooklyn? I can't remember. But she does have a park named after her. And her death, she was found, like I said, in the river, but she had a blunt
Yep.
force trauma to the back of her head.
Fucking lying.
She also was actively involved with she was talking to dirty cops, and she was talking regarding like the mob, because the mob back then was big and it was a big thing. But again,
Mm-hmm.
also a lot of hate crimes were being committed, and this wasn't the first gay or transgender LGBTQ plus person that they had
Yep.
found dead. So this icon didn't get justice. She never got the investigation back then that she needed. A lot of people
Yep.
today and in the early 2000s, mid 2000s, actually advocated for her case to be opened and called out the dirty cops, called out the, sergeant on the force. I can't remember his name, as they should.
Yeah.
It. I am a true crime junkie, and unfortunately, in my expert, not so expert opinion, I don't think this case will ever be solved, because I think
No.
that it was so neglected back then and just turned a blind eye to, called a suicide, that proper things were taken care of. They just didn't give like a shit
But
at all.
also money. Money's a big factor when it
They
comes
didn't
to these
care.
kind of things. Mm.
But she is known, like, I love Marsha P. Johnson because of the pay it no mind, don't you forget it name. Also, fun fact, she did model for Andy Warhol in the Gentleman versus the Ladies series. He did a
Mm-hmm.
series, like, of works, and yeah, she got to model for him. I wish that she would have been. I obviously wish she was still here today, because I feel like she would. She would be one of the front runners, and still advocating, and still. Oh, she wouldn't, like, shut up, which is
I
what we
really,
need more
yeah.
of, especially
Hopefully
given
her case
today.
does get solved. Yeah. I
I
really hope
hope so.
someday.
I do. Um, but right now it is still open, but it's like labeled as
Excuse me.
a unknown circumstances, which
Mm-mm.
sucks. But she was an icon.
Yeah.
She really
Absolutely.
was.
Yeah.
And she was beautiful. If you guys look up
She
pictures, which
was.
please look up pictures of her, because she was gorgeous. And
Yep.
so Sylvia Riviera, also a baddie. She's gorgeous too. Gorgeous, gorgeous girls. Sorry, I have a
I
bug bite
love
on
it.
my ankle because mosquitoes in
Oh, that's the
Tennessee.
worst. Oh.
Ugh, and I put a
Oh.
pimple patch on it.
Those
Oh,
do those
life hack.
help?
Life hack. Yes. Pimple patches, they do work on pimples, obviously, or the brand Good Molecules. That's what I use. But if you have a bug bite and it itches,
Yeah.
put one of those on, and it does instantly. It draws out the stuff that they use. I need
I'm
to put
gonna
it
have
on,
to.
but I have
Yeah.
stockings.
That's such a good idea.
hmm
I love that.
Next for your list.
Oh. Well, everybody knows her, Cleopatra.
Ah,
Loved her.
Cleo!
Love her. Cleo, no!
No, Cleo! Cleo!
So, yeah, like, people, again, people just see this woman as, like, oh, like, a woman pharaoh, like, she just, was in it for the money, the sex, the beauty, because of, Julius Caesar and Mark
Mark
Antony.
Antony.
No, like it was not that at all. Like she was absolutely, she was smart. She was smart. She knew what she was doing. She was the last pharaoh, an active ruler of the, I'm gonna butcher this and I feel so bad. I think it's the Ptolemaic?
Oh, I know. It begins with a P or whatever.
Yeah,
PTLU.
kingdom of,
Olympic. Yeah,
yeah.
I don't know, but I
Like
remember that.
that's insane. And like she was fluent in several languages, which
Hmm.
I didn't know. And like is like a big influence when it comes to like works of art, literature, films, even makeup and just style in general. Um
I wanted to say, I don't know if you watch old movies, but you know, we did the whole, or they did the whole in the 1950s or 60s Cleopatra movie.
Yeah,
Why do we
yes.
have a white woman playing Cleopatra? Like,
Honestly
I love
though,
you, babes, but no, that was so awful. You know that Cleopatra was Greek?
yes, I was just about to say that. Like I thought she was
Yeah,
Greek.
she wasn't even white or like Egyptian. She
No.
was a baddie.
But like
She,
she's like, I may be Greek, but listen, I'm the Pharaoh of Egypt. Like,
hmm
okay, And like, but I do love though too. I love a woman who uses like her sexuality, sex appeal, all of that as an advantage when it comes to men. Like she
hmm
knew work them to get what she wanted, and
Yeah.
like good for you because if you know if you could do that, and
One
it
of
sucks though too because sorry, go ahead.
I was just gonna say one of my favorite history teachers was
Yeah,
talking about Cleopatra and like the sex appeal, but what made her so like in it with the big dogs, you know, the men ruling the world
yeah,
at the time was her mental like capacity. Like she thought, I hate the phrase, thought think like a man, but she
yeah,
did, and it was a way
yes,
ahead of her time. And so she's up there playing games, you know, big boys.
yep.
Meanwhile, she is like,
And they probably too, they're like, oh, it's just Cleopatra. Like, she's just a woman. She doesn't know. Like,
mm-hmm,
no, I do know, and look at what I'm doing. And it sucks because her brother, actually, when she died, he censored so much of that history of her ruling and everything like that to make her
jealousy,
seem like, yeah, to seem like, she was just this temptress of a woman
just a
to get what
bimbo.
she wanted. Yeah, and then
Because they had a
oh,
falling out. I remember hearing about that.
mm-hmm. Yeah. And you know what I love though too is she told him, she's like, no man's ever gonna find where I'm buried. It's gonna be a woman.
Oh, do you want a
You go.
okay, I'm just gonna throw this in here. This is psychotic, and it's so sad that this
What?
happened. So, you know, they did mummies in the Egyptian times.
Yeah.
They had to guard the bodies of beautiful women that had passed on to
Oh
prevent.
God.
Yep. So they would let their bodies decompose enough until they weren't sought after by these freaking disgusting lunatics. That's why women choose the bear. Side note, I'm sorry, but yeah, that is a real
Honestly
thing.
though.
That
Honestly
is,
though.
mm-hmm.
Like we get it. Not all men, but they're men.
Yep.
It's mostly men.
Cleopatra was like a mental like
She was.
mastercraft.
Yeah. She had the brains. She had the looks. You know. She was fucking iconic for her time. Honestly.
She was really close with her dad too. I need that. And like her
Hmm.
dad was super smart.
Yes.
Yeah.
Love it.
Good for her.
I'm loving this.
I didn't know that she spoke like all those languages though. But it make I mean,
Yeah.
how stupid of me to not think that. You know? Like
But like
she
that's another thing too.
ruled.
Like you don't know. Yeah.
Mm-mm.
And it sucks that so much history of her has been censored. So I feel like we'll never truly know the extent of like her influence and what she's really done.
But keep in mind, this was around like BC times, right?
Mm-hmm.
So keep in mind that her legacy has still lived on into 2025. Granted, we don't even know the full
Yep.
extent of what she's done, but we, as it's like, as society, we know Cleopatra, the name. It's a common household name. We know that she was a pharaoh. She was badass. So, like,
Yeah.
obviously she kind of outdid her brother because who the hell is he?
Right. What was his
Granted,
name? Octavius or something?
I don't know. I don't know. I just remember they had a falling out, and he was like, "No."
Stupid.
Yeah. So, granted, she outdid him. Sorry,
Yeah.
Papa loves me more. um. So this one actually was a new one that I found while I was deciding who to pick for my iconic women.
Hmm.
And I've never heard of this person before, and I don't think a lot of people have, unfortunately. And I could see why. Because
Hmm.
I'm like, I hate to say it, but
Who was she?
with such a big thing going on,
Hmm.
while she meant the world to others and her name deserves to be heard, it was just an every other day thing.
Yeah.
Sophie Scholl. She was a German student who
Okay.
grew up under the Nazi regime.
Hmm.
Um, and her and her brother ultimately, they were part of this group that really isn't that popular or known today, but it was called the White Rose. And it was a resistance group that it was like the early stages of the Holocaust. It was a
Yeah.
resistance group that like distributed anti-Nazi propaganda, leaflets, like everything. They were trying to get the word out of like Nazis not good. You know,
Yeah.
why are you okay with slaughtering innocent people?
Hmm.
Um, things like that. So I wish that there was more to find out about her. Unfortunately, it wasn't because her life was cut short at the young, ripe age of 21.
Oh gosh.
Um, her and her brother, they 1943, 2 years before the war ended, they were caught at the University of Munich on a balcony. They were throwing
Mm.
out leaflets of anti-Nazi like propaganda, like pamphlets, everything. They were
Wow.
caught by a Gestapo, interrogated, and everything, and they were guillotined.
Mm.
Yep.
Oh.
Um, it sucks because like I feel we all see the movie or the boy in the striped pajamas, like Schindler's List and stuff. I've never found out about her. I never heard about her
No.
until I kind of wanted to do a deep dive on all these icons. But
Yeah.
from what history has shown is that she was a German student. She loved art and music. She was great in literature and philosophy. And obviously she was a genuine and morally good person. Her and her
Yeah.
brother. Her brother's name is Hans, but they got caught doing something that shouldn't have costed them their lives.
Yeah.
And to be guillotined also at 21 years old, her brother was like 24, 25. It's messed up. It's more than messed up. But I did write down her quote, her final words.
Ooh.
It said, "What does my death matter if by our acts thousands are warned and alerted?" So, meaning, like, I really did just get the goosebumps. Meaning, my death is so like insignificant. Can't say that word
Hmm.
because it's opening up a whole other broad horizon of people hearing. My death is going to make others hear the White Rose.
Yeah.
Is going to make others hear about this anti-Nazi regime that we have. Oh, I
Yeah.
really do have the goosebumps because, as you know, in previous episodes, I'm surprised as I was literally grew up young and obsessed with the Holocaust, reading about everything. I did not one time stumble across this name, Sophie Scholl, and I had numerous books about it. I was obsessed with it.
Yeah.
Like we in our obsessed episode, I talked about it. Never once heard her name. or of the White Rose. And what's even more sad is the White Rose, eventually they literally got 99% of the members. Only one member survived and escaped. And I can't remember their name, but it begins with a J. But 1943, her and her brother got a death sentence for doing something that didn't warrant it.
And it's not even that long ago, too. That's
No.
like I keep saying, like, it's.
But she was.
Like, yeah.
I don't know. I'd like to paint an image of some of these women in my head just based off of like the research, because I can't imagine at 21 having that strength. And
Yeah.
just like Claudette Colvin at 15, couldn't imagine having that type of strength and just like, I don't care mentality. You're doing something wrong. Society says that you're doing something right, but you're wrong. And I'm going to stick here and stick to my guns. It's insane, the amount of strength and resilience. She was an icon, even though she wasn't really known. And I just found out about her, which is a shame. But her and her brother were icons. No.
That's great. Wow.
And her final, can we just talk about her final words again? I'm sorry.
That.
What does my death matter if by our acts thousands are warned and alerted? They didn't even say millions or hundreds of thousands, tens of thousands. They only said thousands. Okay, you gotta change it. I'm sorry, but like I could go on and
That's
on.
okay.
Cause
Yeah.
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 Caught thrown on by a balcony though. Yep.
Why are all these iconic women too? Like all their deaths are so like
Disgusting.
suspicious or horrible, disgusting.
Joan
Like
of Arc.
yeah. Oh my god.
Yeah.
Oh my god. It is by the hands of men too.
Mm. All right. Who was your other one?
This one I'm pretty excited about. Her name was Sister Rosetta Tharpe. I'm like, oh, this is exciting. So she was known as like the godmother of rock and roll, which I'm like, oh, that's because you don't really hear like
godmother or grandmother.
Yeah. So she was the first gospel performer to record for a major record label. And she had like this unique blend of like spiritual and electric guitar. And I'm like, that's pretty freaking cool. Like, she passed away in 1973, but in 2018, like she finally got inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
Wait, 2019?
2018. So it took that long though for her to get like in there. Like what? Like I'm pagan and stuff like that, but like I listen to some of her music and I'm like, back then, like, holy cow, like she influenced like Tina Turner, Little Richard, Johnny Cash, Elvis Presley even. Like again, you never hear about these people. Like, you know what I mean? Like
she was a baddie.
Yeah.
She was before Elvis.
Yes, yeah.
But it was just because because it's gospel that people weren't really
that, and because she was an African American woman.
Oh yeah.
She was specifically, yeah, she was born in Arkansas, but still like, but yeah, she did like blues, gospel, jazz, rock and roll. Like she did all these different genres with music and everything like that. And it sucks because I feel like she may have gotten overshadowed because of who she influenced, because who these people were.
Yep.
Yeah.
I have heard about her before because I watched a documentary, and one thing that I just remember that was like, that is cool as hell. She got
Yeah.
married like while she was doing a concert. She was like
Hmm.
performing a concert while in her wedding dress on
Yeah.
stage. And I was like,
I love that. I love that.
girl, good for you.
Oh my God.
Yeah. Yeah.
Ah,
I remember I think it was on Netflix actually, a documentary about her. Because I
yeah.
love like as much as I love true crime, documentaries
Yep.
are up there. But hmm
I love that. Yeah. And I love that she when she was talking about Johnny Cash, Elvis Presley, and Little Richard, she said, "Oh, these kids in rock and roll, this is just sped up rhythm and blues. I've been doing that forever."
what? I love that. She said, "Boys, I taught you the lesson. You're looking at the teacher."
Right, like I did it originally.
Did
Thank
she
you.
know
So,
Johnny Cash? Like, because like Johnny Cash is married to a
yeah,
black woman. I
I
wonder if he was
honestly
like
don't
cool
know.
with her. I don't
I
know
honestly
either.
don't know. Yeah. But yeah, she did. She died of a stroke, though, so she died naturally, unfortunately, of what she died of. She got an leg amputated because of complications from diabetes.
Damn.
Um, but yeah, the day she died, though, she was supposed to record, and yeah, yep.
Wait, how old was she when she died?
Let's see. That I don't
Because
know.
that's a badass. Like, if she's still recording while she's,
Yeah,
up there in
she
age.
died. Yeah. Let's see. 1973, she died. So let's do
I'm bad
some
at
math,
math. I'm bad
kids.
at math. I'll sit this one out.
Oh, 58. So she was 58 when she
Oh,
died.
that's
She was
young.
gorgeous. She
Yeah.
was beautiful. Oh my God. To me, she kind of reminds me of Betty Boop, honestly.
That, I think you remember Etta James.
Yeah.
I
Yep.
think that's who I'm picturing in my head, but I don't remember what sister
Yeah.
was. Uh,
Yeah. She. Oof.
wait, what was that quote she said again? Because I like that.
Oh yeah, yeah. Let me get it for you. Please hold.
Because all I remember from this documentary was that she did a concert on her wedding day and was wearing a wedding dress while she was playing the like guitar.
Yeah.
I was like, oh,
Yep.
that's
Oh
pretty neat.
yeah. Yep. So these kids. Oh, these kids in rock and roll. This is just sped up rhythm and blues. I've been doing that forever.
I love
You have to.
that.
So you know what, guys? If you want to thank somebody for God being the godmother of rock and thank this woman.
Which, why are we calling her the godmother or grandmother? Like, why can't she just be the mother of rock and roll?
Yeah, yeah. And you know what though? I think it was also if people really want to look back and be like, oh, the godfather or the grandfather of rock and roll, it was another African American man.
It was, and it was a blues player.
Mm-hmm. Yep. So you could thank African Americans for your heavy metal, for your rock and roll, for all of that.
For your mother freaking vaccines that saved billions and trillions of lives. Don't get me
Yep.
started on Henrietta again because I'll go down that rabbit hole.
Like her.
So we had actually come up with a similar or the same person.
Yeah.
But do you want to talk about her together, or do you want me to go into like my next? Because I still have I have I did 7 women. I have 2 more after the one person that we came up together with.
If you want to do your 2 women, and then we can end it with her.
Okay. So one of my women is a common, hopefully, household name, Marie Curie. Which fun fact, I just read this book by Ellie Hazelwood, a rom-com author. She writes geared towards like science and stuff, and Marie Curie was a big name. But
I love that you keep saying her name like that.
Curie. I don't know why I'm saying it French because she wasn't. She was from Poland. Like
Maybe it's just the way her name
I
sounds.
just love it. Sounds so like it goes
Curie.
together. Yeah, Curie. Curie. She was born in Poland though, so I don't know a Polish accent. Oh, but no, she moved to Paris to study, so that's probably why.
There you go. Mhm.
um, at study science when women weren't allowed in labs at all by any means.
Yeah.
She met her husband, Pierre, and discovered polonium and radium. And she was the trailblazer of radioactivity.
Ooh.
Um, Side note, her husband, Pierre, he passed away in an awful accident where he got like basically his head went under a carriage
Oh gosh.
ran by horses, and yeah,
Mm.
it killed him. Um, but Pierre loved the frick out of Marie. They were besties. They were a good, healthy marriage, and it was love, genuine
Yeah.
love, and same interests. Because a lot of the so she was the first woman to win the Nobel um, Prize, but they originally wanted to give it to her husband Pierre, which he had contributed, granted, but he
Yeah.
was not the trailblazer behind it. He was not the front runner of discovering like radium and radioactivity and stuff like that. So he said, "You give me that prize with my wife, or don't give me at all." So
Hell yeah.
they gave it to her also. Um, she won in two sciences, physics and chemistry. Also, she used her research to help treat cancer. And then in World War I, she developed these mobile like X-ray things that they would take over to soldiers and be like, okay, this is what's wrong. This is, X-ray. You see it, but back then it was a lot rougher of an image, but it still gave the doctors and nurses a general idea of where the issue was or the bullet fragments and all this was. They were
Yeah.
actually called little Curies. Yep, little Curies.
That's
Um,
cute.
so she went on to have like two kids and everything, and busy,
Mm-hmm.
busybody, working away in the lab. Same thing that she loved,
With her
radioactivity,
kids. Yeah.
was slowly poisoning her. Because, as smart as this woman was, she did keep a little vial of radium in her pocket, which
Yeah.
now we know is like Chernobyl
No.
and
Oh my god.
Hiroshima and Nagasaki, radioactive areas. No, no,
Yeah.
you don't go. Girl was holding around radioactive thing in her pocket, dilly dallying, you know. Um, so she died in 1934. Obviously, she's well known as one of the frontrunners of women in STEM and science.
Yeah.
Also, I will butcher this name, and I wanted to include her, but I didn't find enough about her. But
Yeah.
there was a Japanese woman, I also believe, who kind of got unfortunately overshadowed by Marie,
Mm-hmm.
but is still like she needs to have her name known. And if I'll butcher the name, I can't even say it, but if you guys are interested in science and physics, chemistry, or just more iconic women, look her up, please.
Yes.
Um, so fun fact about Marie Curie: her notebooks and personal belongings still radioactive to this day.
Really?
Yeah, a girl was carrying around a vial of radium. But yeah, she in a world or in the science world full of men, she was like, "Let me teach you boys something. Let me
Yeah.
discover radioactive things." And even after her husband Pierre unfortunately passed in a brutal accident, she went on to raise her two babies and be not only like a single mom, but a badass bitch in science, STEM, and yeah, and actually in like inspired a lot of
Mm-hmm.
women. I mean, her name is like household known. It should be. I
Yeah.
think. Yeah. They did an Apple TV show based off of her. I want to say which is with Brie Larson, the girl who was Captain Marvel.
Okay.
Yep. Yeah. So if you're interested in that, there's another show or series you can watch.
Hell yeah.
Hmm. Okay.
Icon.
You want me to go on my last one and then we'll go to the. Okay.
Sure.
So, last one. Everyone should know this, especially because it happened not even like 20 years ago.
Yeah.
Malala Yus- Yousafazai. Yousafazai. I'm so sorry that I butchered her last name and probably first. But she was a Pakistani girl who was on the bus and she got shot in the face by the Taliban. She grew up under Taliban rule where girls were banned from school, not allowed to learn, read, but she was already at 15. She was kind of like Claudette at 15. She was
Yeah.
writing articles for the BBC
Wow.
under a pseudonym. She wrote articles of like what my life is like, but it was a pseudonym, and the pseudonym name was Gul Mackay. I think
Mhm.
that's a I think that's a male's name. Yeah, 15, writing for the BBC, which is a huge news source and news outlet. Like everyone
That's
knows it.
incredible.
But yeah, 15, she got shot by one of the members of the Taliban on her school bus. Fun fact, her dad was actually, he was like a teacher too, and her dad was just like her, like he encouraged women learning. He was rooting for, women's rights and everything. He was anti-Taliban. Um, she didn't survive. I remember hearing about this in the news, like when I was super young. She survived, and she is the youngest Nobel Peace Prize winner. She
Mhm.
won it at 17 years old. Fun fact, she actually wore her school uniform, the same one that she got shot in, to accept the prize. Oh, I'm getting goosebumps. Oh! She wore that as like a sign. She went on to go to Oxford. She is a
Wow.
graduate of Oxford, advocate for global education. Also, the Malala Fund, huge thing. She is the founder of that. It goes towards fighting for girls' educations and worldwide. Um, Her quote that I wrote down: "One child, one teacher, one book, one pen can change the world." Um,
Absolutely.
yeah, it like she has a New York Times bestselling author, of her book like I Am Malala, which I think everyone should read, especially if you have daughters and stuff. Um, Not to scare them or anything, but just show like this is what girls your age are growing up and dealing with.
Mm.
Like you are lucky to have what you do have, and you have a voice for others that don't.
Yeah.
So use your voice, you know.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, she like shot in the face, luckily survived. She was rushed to the hospital and just became this icon. She's actually married. She's 28 years old too, which is how old I am. So,
Wow.
fun fact. Yeah, that was my last solo person. But then we have,
Yes. Oh, I'm excited about this one too.
yeah.
Everybody knows her. I hope everybody loves her because we do.
Yes.
Frida Kahlo.
Beautiful queen.
Oh my God. That's what I call my daughter sometimes because of her little unibrow.
Mhm. Which I love.
She rocked that unibrow. She was beautiful. She was beautiful. Oh my
Hmm.
gosh. Oh my gosh. And like she was a freaking badass. She was bisexual,
Yep.
which
Uh,
love.
Labeled by like she chose
Yeah.
to label herself as bisexual ahead of the
Yep.
time, ahead of it even being like, is that a thing? You know?
Yeah. Yep. Yep. I loved it. She loved to drink. People like she drink like a man. She loved smoking. She loved, her art. Oh my God. Her marriage between her and Diego though. Oh my
Oh,
God.
that is a love story for the ages. Because yes, while they did cheat on each other, They
Yeah,
also knew about
they
it,
loved. Yeah.
and it was more so an open marriage. They cheated
Mhm.
actually sometimes with the same person,
Yep. Yeah.
which is
Yeah.
okay.
And I love it because, like, she had a hilarious quote about her marriage. She said, "There are two great accidents in my life. One was the trolley, and the other was Diego. Diego was by
Yes,
far the worst."
the trolley. She got ran over and she was
Yep.
young, and it like
Car went through her pelvis, so she was never able to have kids or anything like that. She was like in a
she
full body cast.
yeah, she had a miscarriage, like when she was in her she was pregnant by Diego, had a miscarriage, and then like sorry, came to the realization that she wasn't able to have kids. And I
Yep.
don't know if it, I mean, it could obviously probably from the accident, but she did also have polio as a kid
Yes.
too. So
Yep.
I just think, it wasn't really set in her stones of
Yeah.
having kids.
I love that though, throughout like the trauma that she's been through, and everything, like she always found inspiration for her art. Her art was beautiful,
Hmm.
beautiful. I
It
love that
was.
she was her own muse.
Yeah, no, literally, because a lot of like artists, they're always like, "Oh, you're my muse," or "This woman or person is my muse." She was her
Yes.
own. She was
Yeah.
like, you know what? I got it. Whatever it is,
Yeah.
I got it.
Yep.
And she okay, so like I love animals. She had a pet deer, monkey, a freaking eagle,
Yeah.
dogs and parrots, but dogs and
Yep.
parrots. But
I think she had a peacock too.
she had, yeah, no, that's one of the famous pictures she did with like,
Hmm.
yeah, pet deer and monkey.
Yeah.
Okay, pop
I love
off.
it. Yeah, and like just like also her take on like life and death too. Um, she was just like, I hope the exit is joyful and I hope to never return.
Hmm.
Like, and oh my,
Which
like personally, oof, I'm scared, but like when I hear like things like that, I'm like, okay, like that's a good point of view. That's a good way to
well,
see it. Like,
also like how rough she kind of grew up with just like the accidents and everything. I
yeah,
like one of the fun facts I found out about her was that she wanted to be a doctor,
yeah,
but then it was just like, this ain't for me. This
no,
isn't it. I like being
no.
creative and I can, do
Thank
something
God
with
she
this.
didn't. Like,
Yes.
oh my God, she was just wonderful. And so allegedly, I like to think this actually happened when she was being when her body was being burned after she died. The person in charge said that they watched her body sit up, her hair was on fire, looked like a halo, and she was smiling.
That's creepy but awesome.
Yeah. Yeah. Yep.
But
Yeah. It's almost like, hey, here I go. Like
it's me.
one
Hmm.
last little, like iconic move for you.
Yeah. Which she
Uh,
also I know that she wore like those certain kind of like tribal dresses because she was from a certain heritage which I can't remember the name of, but
yes.
that's like the big beautiful blue and yellow colored dresses that she wore was a
Yes.
sign of her heritage. Um and
So
then
she was, yeah.
I just wrote down one quote that I really liked that she said. She said, "I never paint dreams or nightmares. I paint my own reality." Her reality was like a sign of feminism,
Yes.
disability, identity. She was very self aware,
Hmm.
self accepted. Like, no.
She was half German,
Hmm.
half Mexican. I did not know she was half German.
I think her dad was German.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep. I love the way she viewed like just life and love in general, just like enjoy it, love who you want to love, basically do what you want to do, do what's going to make you happy, like,
Yes.
you
And how
know,
crazy, like, not crazy, but how awesome that she found a partner that ultimately knew they were going to be together, but
Yeah,
also accepted that part of her and was like,
kind of
hey,
like
you're free,
matched
I'm
it.
free.
Yeah,
Yes. They're both
like,
aware of like
yep,
what they
we love
needed
each other deep.
sexually.
Yeah,
Hmm.
like you could go be with this person, I'm gonna be with this person, but we love each other so much that nothing's gonna come between us.
Hmm.
We're always gonna be here for each other, like,
Didn't she pass away by like, not tuberculosis, but like a pneumonia or something?
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
it's
Her
awful.
last, what was it? Her last like gallery showing, I want to say. They actually like had to carry her in. And she's like, I'm not missing this. Diego's like, what are you doing? She's like, I'm not missing it.
I
Like she
got
almost
people.
knew. Like, and just oh, I just love her.
Hmm.
I love her and I love them together. A lot of people don't like them together. I do. I understand. Like they were
Obviously, they
freaking they
did.
were in love. They were their relationship was too modern for that time.
That's
You
it,
know,
yeah. Too ahead of the curve.
love it. Yes. I love that he was
Hmm.
like so supportive too of like her art and everything and always pushed her to like do good and do better and keep doing it.
And just accepting of her.
Yes.
I
Yeah.
love that. Hmm.
Bye,
Well,
Toms.
well, guys, yeah, like obviously there's many, many more, and wish we could sit here and talk about them all. Um, but those are just some that I wanted to share, and that I know Alyssa wanted to share, which is funny because we ended up on the same one, and we're like, let's do it together. Um, yeah, I think next episode, I'm excited. It was going to be Hear Me Outs. And if the Hear Me Outs are long enough, then that'll be its own episode. But if it's not, then it's going to be like paired with ICKS. So
Yeah.
Hear Me Out and then ICKS.
It's gonna be so fun.
You already know some of my Hear Me Outs, and you're like, Sedona, no.
This is how you're really gonna know who we are as people when you hear
Yeah.
me out.
Mm. I'm gonna like we have to print pictures of our people. I can do that.
Yes.
My work is gonna be like, why are you printing this the
Like, what
Lorax
are
out?
you?
Oh no, nothing.
Don't worry about it. It's all right.
Yeah, we have to print them out. I
Just
think that'll be
hold them
fun.
up.
Um,
Love it.
but I think that
Yeah.
if any women have piqued your interest, definitely go research them. That also look into Henrietta Lacks. I'm telling y'all,
Yes.
and insane and awful, and so thankful, but insane.
Yeah.
Um, yeah,
So yeah. Let us know in the comments too. Like, do you agree with any of the iconic women that we mentioned? Who's your favorite iconic woman and why?
yeah. Also, tell us some of your hear me outs so we can include them for next week and
We want
include
to know
some
if
of
you
your
guys are as
icks.
sick as we are.
I'm gonna alarm some people. Yeah.
They're gonna be like, what if they're like, not really surprised by that one.
I hope that's the case. I genuinely do. I really do hope that's the case, but I have a feeling it won't be. Like I've just said before, I have no taste. Like my level of taste is just cool,
Non-existent.
cool, cool, cool. Yeah. It'll be
You're like, as
fun.
long as your ass is clean.
Yeah. Standard's not that high, fellas.
The bar,
Low.
non-existent. I
Very low. Yeah.
love it.
Yeah.
Well, this was fun.
Hmm.
Well, thank you guys so much for tuning in to episode 7 of Sedona Says.
Alyssa approved.
I'm Melissa.
And I'm Sedona.
See you next week, guys.
Bye.